A number of independent publications are suggesting a significant increase in water infrastructure expenditure from 59 billion to 68 billion in 24 and up to 75 billion in 25 across water and wastewater networks. And this doesn't include investment in water resources, which include stormwater, flood defense, dams, hydro.
Hey everyone, it's Bob Crossan. I'm the editorial director for Wastewater Digest. I'm joined today by Jim Giannopoulos. He is GHD Global CEO, and we're going to be talking about GHD and some of the things that they're looking at from a business perspective. So thank you so much for being here, Jim. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Bob, for the opportunity to talk about GHD and our work in the water sector today. Great to be here.
Yeah. So starting first, this is something that I had been asking a couple other executives is kind of like what areas of the water and wastewater market do you expect to see the greatest revenue growth opportunities for 2024? Where are you seeing your business heading this year?
Yeah, great question, Bob. First, I'll start off with demands and some global forces that are driving some of this investment. So, climate change adaptation and disaster risk resiliency, digitization of markets and services, public health, safety, security, and population growth, and also a number of water challenges, the spectrum from scarcity to inundation, which is accelerating some of this unmet investment. Water security and quality and the nexus between water and energy, and also the infrastructure bills combined with regulatory pressures are also driving demand. Circular economy and also resource recovery. So our focus in terms of areas where we think there will be significant opportunities for us in 2024 and beyond include water resilience and flooding, wastewater resource recovery, technology-enabled asset management and optimization, dams and desalination. A number of independent publications are suggesting a significant increase in water infrastructure expenditure from 59 billion to 68 billion in 24 and up to 75 billion in 25 across water and wastewater networks. And this doesn't include investment in water resources, which include stormwater, flood defense, dams, hydro. So planned spending will continue to increase above baseline inflation, Bob.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned earlier, we also expect large investment to continue resiliency in the US and globally. I mean, these unfortunate floods in Dubai really, which is not unique to the UAE, really highlights similar impacts that we're seeing across the US, for example, in the Gulf Coast and the atmospheric river events that impacted California earlier this year.
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier continued investment in public health issues and protecting the communities, addressing compliance with new lead and copper rules, and implementing lead service line replacement programs could potentially accelerate, and more holistically PFAS, not just in drinking water, but in biosolids in wastewater treatment plants. So a number of significant areas for us to grow this year, Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all very well aware of a lot of the PFAS things over the past several weeks here. It's been a busy couple weeks in the US at least for the water and wastewater folks, and I'm certain more to come throughout the year. But when you think about, so those are kind of like the areas of focus. There's a lot of digitization I'm hearing there, a lot of like not necessarily climate change, but the scarcity issue that you mentioned, and just how that kind of dovetails with that inundation and this element as well. But when you think about headwinds for your business in 2024, where are you seeing those biggest challenges right now?
I mean, the skills shortage and our the ability for the industry to adequately resource projects is an ongoing issue. Also, we have an aging workforce in the industry that we need to continue to invest in new talent. So it creates a great opportunity for new thinking and also application of technologies, whether it be AI or other technologically enabled solutions, not only in the management, but also the design of infrastructure to maximize the available human resources to deliver on these significant projects and programs. The cost of projects continues to increase, Bob. So we're expecting tighter budgets, which means that clients are asking for more for less. So even though we're bullish about the market outlook, we're looking forward to working with our partnerships to assess what are some of the trade-offs in terms of priorities for their projects and meet the needs of their organisation, but also their communities.
Mhm. Yeah, so the workforce is a very big issue, and I've been hearing a lot about that recently. I often hear about it more from the utility side, so I don't see it or hear about it as much on the engineering side, although I know it's still an issue there. When it comes to that, like, are there certain programs that you're trying to use to find new talent? Are you working with other partners in that regard, or is this just like a standard thing that everyone's challenged by and is still trying to find the answer to?
Great question, Bob. At GHD, we invest significantly in the future. So we in the US, for example, we typically recruit up to 200 graduates per annum in our business to invest in the future, but we're also invest in our people's technical development, and we also leverage our global capability and expertise to solve our clients' biggest challenges. Partnering is also important. I mean, we partner with our peers or competitors. We partner with our clients and with contractors, and depending on the delivery method, we'll enter into different partnerships to deliver an outcome. The challenges linked to the impacts of climate change, but also the significant investment that's occurring requires collaboration from across the industry. So at GHD, we're keen to collaborate with our peers and others to deliver best for client, best for project, and best for community outcomes.
Mhm. So what about like larger trends? Global CEO, you have kind of a view that's beyond the scope of just the United States, which is primarily what we cover. But when you think about larger trends, both nationally and globally, do you anticipate which ones do you anticipate are going to be driving business? And is that a mirror that's being shown when you look at the U.S. and the global stage, or is it subsections of larger trends that are showing up in that within the states?
Great question, Bob. The increasing adoption of AI to assist with both management and design of infrastructure, so the tools to do more with fewer resources will continue. An example of a service GHD offers is Beyond AMI, which involves solutions and services that help utility managers better invest, plan, and modernize their existing meter structures, offering
Mm,
data-driven solutions such as smart water grids and predictive analytics, which can enhance water management and mitigate issues or crisis. Greater partnerships will be important to serve our clients' needs, teaming with our peers, and also teaming with contractors, especially with the increased adoption of alternative delivery models in the US, such
mm,
as design build, and we have significant global experience with alternative delivery across the GHD enterprise. And we're actively engaged with organisations such as Design Build Institute of America, the Water Collaborative Delivery Association, and Construction Management Association of America. Other trends are addressing the impacts of significant water events, and which is a significant issue in infrastructure. In a report that GHD recently published called Aquanomics, there were estimates around the financial impacts of droughts, floods, and storms, which could result in a loss of nearly $5.6 trillion to GDP across the 7 focus countries that the study looked at between 2022 and 2050. And in the US alone, the potential loss to gross domestic product or GDP could be up to $3.7 trillion. So there are significant economic impacts with some of these severe events, and there are also some trends that we're working with our clients to provide greater adaptability and resiliency.
now, what an enormous dollar impact. Like
It's
you see the
significant.
human impacts, right, with like news coverage and all that type of thing. But when you really extrapolate it out, that is a tremendous number. That no wonder it's such an important and growing area of water that folks are trying to address. We see our stormwater magazines get picked up all the time at our trade shows. Everyone seems to be struggling with it. Going back to regulations, we talked a little bit about PFAS. You mentioned lead and copper rule as well. I know that's a huge thing in the United States, especially the coming in October. Everyone has to have their inventories submitted and everything. When you're reviewing it from your perspective, what regulations are influencing the way water and wastewater business divisions, and how are you positioning GHD to assist your clientele to address those problems?
Yeah, great question, Bob. At GHD, there are regulations that are driving a number of our investments. So lead and copper rule revisions, compliance that you mentioned, and using or adopting AI and machine learning to assist with inventory and identification of these lines, we're seeing is providing great value to our clients. Also, our understanding of funding mechanisms such as Justice 40, which looks at assisting economically disadvantaged sectors of the community. It's an area that we work in partnership with our clients as an owner's engineer or owner's advisor to help our clients solve some of these challenges that are not so technically driven, but more about centered around community engagement and communication, which is a key part of GHD's purpose, which is together with our clients creating lasting community benefit. PFAS, as you mentioned earlier, we're also looking at not only water but biosolids and waste challenges, and with the new EPA guidance, not only in drinking water but in biosolids, we're looking to leverage our global expertise, particularly in Australia, to assist our clients.
Yeah. Yeah, PFAS I think will be the big one for a while, and I'm certain that microplastics will probably be on the horizon after that one. But thank you so much for your time. Sorry, did you have more that you would like to say?
I did, Bob. Just one more. Outside of
Yeah.
regulation, we anticipate communities demanding more from our water and wastewater utilities. So, in terms of level of service, more for less. And I mentioned earlier the accuracy of water bills, and using some of our advanced metering infrastructure is helping our clients to assist their communities. And that's what we're hearing a lot from our clients. How can we bring technology to bear? How can we prioritize expenditure to have the biggest impact? So more for less will continue to be the mantra.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you
Thank you,
taking the
Bob.
time and chatting with me. It's great to learn a little bit more about GHD. We've worked with you all for so long and had some great stories and interviews over the years. So it's great to finally meet you and chat with you.
Thank you very much, Bob, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about GHD and the water and the work we do in the water sector. Thank you.
Of course. And for everyone who's watching, check out our video description below. We'll have some more links to some GHD interviews that we've done over the years and other GHD information. Thank you.